Hello, how's everyone doing? Am I seeing you over there? Let me know if you can hear me. As soon as somebody has sound and they can speak up if you hear me, then I'll know it's working. Nope, no one there yet. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I can hear you too.
Cool. All right. I'm going to, as well, waiting for people to come in, I'm doing my signing in and signing out of the Google Drive file stream because I was in it earlier. And I need to disconnect and reconnect. So if anyone's going to be on Wi-Fi, sorry, on Wi-Fi, on BDI, please remember to connect and disconnect from their Google Drive file stream each time. So I'm doing that right now. All right. Here we go. Hello, good morning, or I guess it's not anymore, is it? Good afternoon, good evening, good, you know, time of day that we're in. I'm signing, letting people in, there we go. All right. All right, everyone go ahead and give the sound a try as soon as you pop in to make sure that I can hear you. Give it a little hello, like
Hi.
unmute, mute. Hi, hey Chris.
Hello.
And hi Mira, and then go to the chat and write your little hi, I'm here, or whatever you usually write in the morning. Oh, I keep saying morning. Why do I insist it's morning? My brain's all turn around. In the evening, go ahead and write in the chat that you're here. Okay. And window here popping up. Okay. So let me put this down. And I just wanted to remind you guys that some of you have been great about sending me a screenshot of your computer at the end of the class, but not everyone. So if you can just do a quick screen grab of whatever progress you have made, and it's okay if you're not in the right place, as long as you're moving forward and trying. And if you are completely lost, that you be, you know, warning me and asking me during the class what's happening. Also, you have the videos to catch up if you are behind. So I'm not worried so much if you're behind as I am worried about you being completely not there at all. So I need you to be sending me an email, screenshot, screen capture of where you are at the end of the class. And I know that I'm speaking to the chorus because some of the people who are not signed in yet are the ones who haven't sent it in, but there's some people who are signed in who haven't done it either. So if you are sharing your screen with me during the course of the class, I have an idea of where you are. So that's fine if you haven't sent me something. But if you are someone who just kind of follows along and never shares because you're not needing to share, then I just appreciate a quick little screenshot. A lot of you guys have been doing it every night, every evening. That's wonderful, but trying to prompt and remind people who haven't done it yet. All right, and maybe when we open, if you haven't done it yet, when we open the website today, take a screenshot immediately, and then you can send it to me saying, this is where I started at, which is kind of where you ended up last week. And then you can send me at the end of the day a screenshot of where you are at the end of the class. All right.
Is it possible Is it possible to have a copy of your file where
Yeah.
we ended last time?
Yes, I already have it set up that way. What I did is at the end of the class, I created a copy of where I ended, and that one's ready to be downloaded, and it's in the shared drives. So now when we head on over to to the files, and I'm always demonstrating it in VDI mode, but for those of you guys who have your own, I'm going to share, for those of you who have your own setup and you're not doing VDI, then you'll find it inside of the Google Drive. Then when you go into my drive, into shared drives, then go into Dreamweaver shared drive, Dreamweaver class files, and then over here it says copy this first website. Okay. I believe, 5:32 p.m. Okay, so that's not the last. All right, so hold on. I thought I had already done it, but I guess I didn't. That's weird. Okay, give me a sec. I will put it in there right now. I thought I'd already done that. Oh yeah, I did. See, these are the 8:30 p.m. files. So if you go into the copy this first website, what you can do without having to replace the whole folder is that you can just go into the copy this first website, select your index, shift click, so select two things at a time, and your styles, okay? Those are the two files that we've been working on. All we have is the index HTML and the styles. Copy those, which I do with a Control Command C, but you can probably do a right click copy. And then that you copy from my copy this first website, okay? So you got to copy this first website, take the index and the styles to select two things at a time. You select one, then you hold down your shift key and select the other. Then you copy both of those with the right click if you don't like to shortcut, say copy, right? And then you head over to the Google Drive file stream. For people who are in VDI, you have to go back to My Drive and put it in My Drive. For those of you who are at home, you need to go and replace those two files wherever it is that your website is. Maybe you have it on the desktop, wherever you are. So you go into your website with your name and you just paste. So if you were to paste in here, so I'm going to do right click paste in there. It's going to ask me, do you want to override the two files that are there? So the two files that are there are going to be the ones that you created, and you will replace the files with mine. Okay, so when you open it up, then we don't have to create a new website, a new site manage file or something like that. Now, if you like what you're doing and you are happy with your site and you don't want to replace what you're doing, then you copy this website, paste it in again, and then when you open Dreamweaver, you have to create a new managed site and it opened up from there. So I'm happy to help you through that process if you don't want to replace your own. Which means that when you open up Dreamweaver, you have to go to Manage Sites, New Site, and then go click your copy this website to open up with. So if you need any help with that once we open Dreamweaver, I can help you with that.
Yeah, let me share my screen.
Okay, hold on. I need to stop this share. Okay, so hi everyone who showed up while I was talking and sharing my screen. Hi Anna, hi Leland. So what I was saying is that I need to make sure that you guys are on the same page as I am as we continue. And some of you guys move forward and do your own thing. And as long as you do your own thing within that, you can keep doing what I teach you to that site, that's great. But if you are way off, then just for the duration of the class, copy the website that I have in the handouts that says copy this website, because that's exactly where we left it last week. And then open that one up to work in today's class. And then you can keep riffing off on whatever you are doing, okay?
So
all right.
I'm at the point to paste.
Okay, so you copied mine already?
Yeah.
And this is your own. Okay, so go ahead and right click.
Good, I want to keep it.
Right click. Do you know how to do a right click with your mouse? Yep, there we go. Sometimes we don't have it. And then go paste. And replace this files. Don't do skips. Go up and say replace the files. Yep, and so see that it says 9/24/11/36. Go ahead and click paste. And now they've got replaced by October 10th, which was our last class, 8:38 p.m. Okay, so that's the files that now when you open, will open from here. So when you open your Dreamweaver, make sure to open the website under the name My Very First Website.
So
Okay, you
I
can
click this.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's open.
Now, I don't know if this is the same one because this is called Mira's first website though.
Yeah, this is old one.
Okay, so go ahead and say File, close all. Close all. Okay, and now go up to Site at the very top. At the very top. No, top, like top, yeah, there. Go to Site, which is like the fourth or sixth File, Edit, View, Insert Tools, Find, and then Site. So move to the right. Move to the right. 2 more. There we go. Site. Say Manage Sites.
So I have one other question. How do I get to this point here? The the home page, home. So right now I'm home at home page, and I'm seeing my old sites.
Yeah. How did you get here? This is just opening Dreamweaver. If you close your files when you leave, you will be here. This is Dreamweaver without an open site. You had one open, so that's why you saw it. But once you closed it, this is the opening window of Dreamweaver. Okay. So that's how you get here. So now go to Manage Sites. Yeah, click on it. Not going. Click away and do it again because you were waiting there for so long. Maybe it just didn't. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it looks like you do not have, you know how you had the one called my first website? You do not have it set up. So in your case, we're going to have to set it up. So go down to New Site. New Site. Call it My First Site or something like that. That way it has the same name of the one that you're going to be picking up from. And the idea of what I just did is so that we don't have to do this, but I didn't know that you didn't have it set up. So now go up. No, not yet. You need to go find it. So under where you wrote My First Site, there's a local site folder, and there's a little icon of a folder to the end of that. Yeah, click on that. Cool, and now we need to go find it. So go to Google Drive, I guess, is where you had it. I don't know where you said you had put it in My Drive, right? Double click. Dreamweaver class files, I guess. There it is, My Very First Website. I see it. My Very First Website, the fourth down. That's the one where you went and copied stuff into. Go backtrack one. No, but see, that one doesn't have it. So I think it was called My First Website. See, I assumed you copied those files into the, there. No. Remember it was called My First Website? Where did you copy those? Where did you say do the paste? You said it was ready to paste, and I didn't ask you where it was. I just said, okay, great. So where did you paste those into?
I think it was my first site, my first website. I don't know. I went to many sites.
Go into Dreamweaver class files. See if you put it in there, which is 2 up. Let's see if that's where you put it.
Yep.
No, but that's not what it was called. It wasn't called that. But go ahead and use that, and we'll just go and paste the stuff in there again. It's just not, okay, so say select, no, back up. You don't go all the way in. You have to select a folder, so back 1 up. Okay, so select that folder, and now down at the bottom, right at the bottom, it says select folder. Okay, so now we're going into the, so say save. So say okay. Okay, so now the one called My First Website is the one that we're going to open today, but you need to put the information into it because right now it's not there. So we have to paste the files into this. So say done to that. You went backwards. I don't know where you pasted the stuff into. So since we can't find it, I've just created I'm just using one of your old ones. So go ahead and say done. Okay, and now go at the bottom of your screen, go to the icon that takes us to your, there, that one. Click on that. And since I don't know where this one is, go back up to my drive. Go into Dreamweaver class files, which is the one that we just did. Dreamweaver class files, two down. Yep, there. Double click. Mira's first website, that's where that's the one that we just created. Yeah, double click. And here, do a right click paste because you still have them in your memory. And then replace files. And
Got it.
cool. Okay, so now this site, this one is the one that you have open in Dreamweaver. Okay.
Okay.
So now you can go back to click back on Dreamweaver and we'll keep working from there.
Thank you.
Cool. And now if you double click on the right side on your index folder, so right there, yeah, index two down. Oh, nope. Open it up again. Down there to that folder, sorry, file, index HTML. There you go. What you should have, if it all worked out. Yeah, this is the last thing that we did in class. Okay. So if anyone else needs help getting here, if you don't have the files that have all the things that I have at this point, I kind of want us all to be in the same page. So if you want to keep yours, you don't need to replace, but I need you to have, as we move forward now, I want us all to see the same stuff on screen. Okay. So if you need me to help you, it should be simpler than what we did with Mira because she had just pasted it into a different place. But if you paste it into that place, it's a simple change. So let me know and I can help you. If you don't need my help, go to the participants and say, no, I don't need your help. Nope, don't help me. And if you need my help, say yes, give me a green yes, please help me. So I see a green there from Ali before I explain what the green was. So Ali, if you need help, leave it green. But if you don't need help, then change it into a red no. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing with Mira. And you're welcome. Okay, so everyone who is saying you do not need your help, Ali, yours still says yes. So Ali, do you need do you need to tell me where you're at so I can help you get the files? Ali, are you there? If you're talking to me at all, there's sounds off on both of your screens. And your video is off, so I don't know if you're trying to talk, but I can't see you. So if you're trying to talk, I need you to open up your sound, either that or to write in the chat. Okay, Ali, I'm not hearing you. All right, well, since the only one who wrote that they needed help is Ali and she's not responding, I'm going to continue. Everyone go into the chat. The other day I was cracking up at home about a joke. I have to tell you, I have to share it with you because my entire family was looking at me like I was a creature from the Black Lagoon or something. Because there is this joke, like one of those little memes, which is showing this teacher like me on Zoom trying to call up their students, and they turned it into this teacher sounding like they were calling up the spirits of of a voodoo session. They're like, can I hear you? Hello. And they had candles and the whole thing. It was so funny. I spent half my time going, hello, are you there? Hello, hello, can you speak to me? I'm calling you up. Anyway, everyone at home thought I was just crazy, but I experience it every day where it's like, hello, are you there, Marcus? Hello, can I hear you? Make a sound if you're there. Knock 3 times. Anyway, sorry. I just had to share that with you guys because that was exactly what just happened, me calling. All right, Ali, I see that you're there in the chat. Did you need help with the files or are you fine? Because you have a little yes saying that you need help. Tim, you also have a little yes. Do you need to get the files?
I'm not sure if it has to do with the files, but the image, image of the flowers is only showing the upper third of the image.
Okay. Yeah, that tends to be when you've opened up without resetting your Google Drive file stream. Okay.
Oh,
So did you
okay.
set up your Google
Logging
Drive file stream today? Like now in this new
No, I
VDI
mean
session?
logging out and logging back in.
Yeah. So basically, if you're already in Dreamweaver, close Dreamweaver. And then what you need to do is every time you open up VDI, go to this little icon here at the bottom, click on Google Drive file stream, go to the little gears,
Yeah.
preference. It's a hassle, but you know, disconnect account. And then say okay, and then you're gonna have to reconnect the same way by typing it in. Okay, so that's like
Oh.
the moment you open VDI, it's kind of like open VDI and then sign into your Google Drive file stream. It's kind of needs to happen one after the other, or it won't, or your files get truncated. Okay, and
Okay.
that there you go. And then once you're in, open up again, and the files should be fine. All right, Ali, you're good. Is what you're saying. Tim, you're good, or you're getting there. Mira, you're good. And Mira, you're good. So, okay, I'm clearing out your answers. Everyone is where they should be, except for me, because in my demo, I closed Dreamweaver again. So let me quickly open Dreamweaver. And there we are. Okay. So that was just catching everyone up to, so we all start in the same place. So while my Dreamweaver is opening up, I'm gonna stop sharing so I become a little bit more human for a second. So any questions, anything you guys did over the week, anything you attempted to do, any additions, any questions, any feedback, anything? Hello, hello. The voodoo, I'll bring out the candles. Feedback. Okay. All right. Looks like no one has any questions. Okay. So hi, Dorothy. I hadn't said hi to you yet, and Robert, and I think I've talked to everyone else. Vivian. Okay. So here we go then. I will share my screen again from the place that I stopped, which is right here. All right. So we worked a lot last week on fonts. Well, actually, I forget that I need to make this smaller for this class so it replicates the space that you have. I like working with a big screen, but sometimes I forget that I can't do that all the time for this class. Okay, so we worked with fonts. Did anyone do anything anywhere with fonts? Like you attempted things, you brought in some new ones. Did you, nothing there?
No.
Not triggering any questions? Because remember that at the last minute, what we did is we brought in not just the font that came in from the Adobe type setup, but we went into Google Fonts and we copied the information for our CSS styles, and then we brought it in to our files. Okay, so if you look in my source code here in my HTML, you will see that I have the Adobe Web Fonts script, which was using the edge fonts. That's that ribbon in my narrow, whatever, which is this one that's kind of funky. And then I have another link that I copied from Google Fonts that is bringing me the Glory Hallelujah, which is this other funky one. And again, these are not like conscious choices that I would use for the website, but I was trying to bring in two fonts that were completely different to each other so that my example would work. Does that make sense? So I have web fonts from two different places, and I also have I had to copy information into my CSS. If I go into the styles up here to see my CSS, I discover that I have fonts from 3 different places in my document. And I wouldn't recommend this normally, right? You don't want to be sourcing yourself from all over the place. But I mean, if you have to, because the right the right font really is in a different place, it's fine to do it. So then in my body, where did this, so you guys looking at what I'm highlighting, where did this font come from? What kind of font is this? My body font is what kind of font?
Sans serif.
It's a sans serif. Where did it come from? It ends up being a sans serif.
Web safe? Is it web safe?
It's a web safe font. Thank
Web
you. Thank you, Tim. It's a web safe font. One of the ones that's just kind of embedded in there, and it's a series of fonts, not just a font, but font family. And what a font family means is that I'm really requesting Sego, but if Sego isn't there in the person's computer, then I'm saying, okay, if you can't find that one, go ahead and look for Sego UI. And if you can't find that one, then go to Deja Vu Sans. And if you can't find that one, we're beginning to get to the ones that every computer has, which is Trebuchet. And if you really don't have that one, please default to Verdana, which every computer has. And if you really got to the place where that's not there, then just give me whatever sans serif you can find in that computer. So it's kind of a list of, you know, from best choice to very basic choice. So this gives your computer, not your computer, but the reader of your websites, your client or your readers, your audience, the possibility of having 5 options before it defaults to whatever sans serif. Okay, so that's what the font family is. And no doubt that every computer has at least one sans serif computer font in their background, so you will never get like question mark or junk. You will get to see the font, because at the very least the font for the body, okay, is going to be there as a sans serif, even if it's not our preferred font. All right, and then the H1 is where we said that we wanted to bring in a font from the Adobe Edge set of fonts. And then the H2 is where we brought in the font from the Google Fonts set of fonts. Okay, so that's kind of how we laid it out last week. If you don't have the 3 different types of fonts, but you know what we did and you understand it, that's fine. Go ahead and have just 2. But if you have questions about this, this is what we did at the very end. So it's not hard to go to the video and watch the last, 20 minutes of class so that you can get clear on how to bring in the information from Google Fonts, because I highly, if you're going to be doing websites of any type and kind, you will be using Google Fonts. So I want to make sure that you learned how to bring that in, which is basically copy paste and put the link that you copy paste here in the head of your HTML. That's where I pasted that one. And then you go to your style CSS, you go to the whatever HTML, whatever selector you're wanting to do that with, and you paste in this line, which we also copied it from Google Fonts. Okay, so it calls it exactly the way we want it. And remember what it meant when you have these cursors in front of a font name? Does anyone remember my explanation for that? Because this one doesn't have it, but this one does. Do you remember what that means?
2 words or longer?
Not too large. Try again.
2 words.
Oh, 2 words. Thank you. I misheard. Yes, 2 words. So basically, it's trying to make sure that this gets as if there was no space there. It wants this to be read as Deja Vu Sans, so that you don't get just Deja Vu or just sans. So it's like it turns it into one word to have these quotation marks on the sides. And that's what, in this case, from Google, it's being marked with 1, which is the same. It's Gloria space Hallelujah, read as just Gloria Hallelujah. Okay, not only that, but this Gloria Hallelujah came in with style. So it wasn't just Gloria Hallelujah, the font, but it also came in the cursive mode. So it's another, it's a default. It's a font family, so to say. Like if Gloria Hallelujah isn't working, this is what I copied in from Google, and it says, okay, ideally bring in Gloria Hallelujah, but say I made a mistake and I didn't put my link in correctly or something like that, then what it says is, okay, this is a little font family of just one version. Get me that font. And if for chance the link isn't working, Google's down, something isn't working, then just give me any cursive. So that's the equivalent to the sans serif at the end of the font family. It's, okay, default to a cursive of some kind because that's the nearest thing. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to move on from fonts if there's any questions about that. We didn't talk yet about font size, sizing in units. So today I'll bring that up then in. But for now, we just made a choice based on how it looks. If we wanted it bigger or smaller, but today we're going to get a little bit clearer on units. But we're also going to bring in links and hyperlinks, creating other pages to our site. So we got quite a bit going on today. All right, if there are no questions, I shall proceed. No questions?
Nope.
All right, so
Nope.
let me take a little sip of my really old coffee, and I hope it's not curdling because it has a bit of milk in it and it's been there for hours and hours in my little hot mug. Believe it or not, it's still kind of warm. My throat's getting dry. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We want to, what we want to do is we want to bring in some links. Now, what links are, the word link that we tend to say link, really in a website, a link is equivalent to the actual full word is a hyperlink, okay? So if I go to any website, whichever, I don't know, type anything, weather or something like that, weather.com. If I go to weather.com, oh, okay, good news, major hurricane. Any of these things that I hover over, they're really hyperlinks. We just call them links, but they're hyperlinks. And the reason I need to distinguish that is because there is a tag called link in HTML, and the tag called link is not the same as as something that you click on. So if you go to our head in our HTML, you'll see that we have the tag link a few times already. We see the tag link up here where we linked to our style sheet. The CSS, okay, hold on, I need people to keep your voice. Okay, sorry, our refrigerator hasn't been working for the last 5 days now, and the repairman keeps coming and going, trying to fix it, and he's talking with my husband right now, and we're working off of coolers, so it's not very comfortable, but in the background I was hearing that. That noise, and it was bugging me. Okay. All right, they're gone. Okay, so I was saying this link tag in line 6 in my case, that tag is not the one that creates a hyperlink, okay? The one that creates a hyperlink is called the anchor tag, or A. The A tag is what we call the anchor tag. So that is the equivalent to what we call in regular life a link or a hyperlink, okay? This tag, the one called link, is actually one that links different stuff into my website. Like in this case, it links my CSS style sheet to show up. It links my font from Google Fonts and stuff like that, okay? So that's what link means. So when I say we need to bring in links for our navigation, I'm actually referring to hyperlinks, which are the A tag. Now, before we do that, I wanted to go ahead and create, there's two types of anchor tags. I'm going to call them links, but just be clear, when I say the word link in this case, I'm always referring to the anchor tag, okay? So, so there's two kinds of links that you can do to a website. You can have an external link or an internal link. So an external anchor tag or an internal anchor tag. So an external one is going to be a link that sends you to some other website, or it might send you to an email address, or it might send you to a social media account. Okay, so it's a link that takes you outside of your website. And so that's the first one that we're going to make. So let's go into this text over here, which right now is still junk, right? And actually, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this. Should I do it right now? Okay, let's just do one in here and then we'll do it later. I will say on this page, because today I'm going to create more pages, but let's first focus on hyperlinks before I make you create another page, or we'll never get to the end of what I want to teach. So at the end of this text that we wrote in here, which is a bunch of Latin, click in there, put in a little period, and then say, check I'm trying to imagine. So like if I'm talking, the site that we're trying to work on is as if this was a personal website. But if you're already in our personal website, you might want to say, check my social media account or something like that. So in this case, I'm just going to test, you know how I just went to weather.com? There you go. That's an easy account to reference. So I'm going to say, check today's weather, right? Because as a sample, it doesn't matter what it is. So I'm going to say, check today's weather, right? So we're not going to write an actual link in here. What we're going to do is we're going to write some words. And you know how when you're working on text, when you're reading text on the internet, whenever people want to refer to something else, then you know, it's important not to say things like click here or stuff like that anymore. If you say click here to go to yada yada, that is actually not correct from an accessibility standpoint. And it's so typical, you see it everywhere still, but from accessibility, when we say accessibility, remember we're talking about screen readers and we're talking about blind people or disabilities. And if the screen reader reads, check here for the link, the screen reader has no idea what that link is going to, okay? So if instead you say, check here for the weather, and then your link is the word weather, then the screen reader says to the person who can't read, check here for the weather. So then that link has a context of what that link is going to. Does that make sense? So you have to be semantic in how you write the text. And so usually just highlighting a piece of text that makes sense to link to the next website, that's what you should use versus the whole click here, or this is the link to yada yada, and then you put a link. So those links are not good from the accessibility point of view. So if I say check today's weather, then what I want to do is I want the word weather to become a link, okay? So did everyone write check today's weather? It could have been go to my Facebook account, or it could have been see my presentation, my article that got printed in the New York Times or something like that. So then you highlight New York Times and you put a hyperlink to the New York Times, right? So now we're going to say check today's weather. And as you notice that as we wrote it, one option just by reselecting it is already you see a little link right there that says hyperlink. So I don't even need to go insert stuff. I could have gone into file, insert hyperlink, but right there in my live view, I see a little link that I can click on and it says enter link. Now, this is very important, pay attention. If I want to go to weather.com, I can't write weather.com. That's not enough. I need to enter the entire full-on big hyperlink. And it's possible that you're going to websites that are much more complicated than weather.com. So I would never enter by hand a hyperlink, because you will almost for sure at some point make a mistake, especially when it's long ones. So what I recommend doing is kind of what I did here. go to the tab. Okay, so I'm going to say like, open a new tab. Go to the tab you're looking for. So if it happens to be weather.com, all you need to do is write weather.com and you get there, right? But by writing weather.com and getting there, even though up here it just says weather.com, it's kind of weird. It just says weather.com. But if I actually click in there and copy that, okay, if I actually copy that, so I'm going to do right click copy. I like to do Command or Control C, but if I copy that, even though it looks like it's just weather.com, what I'm really copying, I'm going to go in here and paste in here. Notice that what comes in, well, I got rid of that because I didn't paste. I hate using the, hold on. When I paste in here, I'm a Mac person and I used Command C instead of Control C because I'm on VDI, I have to do Control C. So Control V, paste. Let me go back in here. I need to do that again. So I'm going to copy this and I'll go in here and paste. Oh, shoot, I forgot that in VDI, the copy paste isn't working. That's what got to us the other day, remember? In VDI that we were trying to do from Google Font, the copy paste, and it wasn't working. Okay, if you are in your own Dreamweaver, copy paste. Okay, but for those of us who are not, I don't know why the copy paste doesn't work in Dreamweaver. Then go over here and see it's this that we need to write, https:// and then weather.com. Okay, so that's the whole thing. So https:// now this is only because we're in VDI. Normally this won't be an issue. Okay, so now right in there, https:// and then weather.com. That should have been easier. I forget that it's such a, there's something that you need to say okay to at the beginning that it says allowed to copy paste, and I must have said no by mistake, and that's why it's not letting me. Okay, so I'm saying https:// and the link got created. So I say go ahead and say enter, and your link got created. Okay, so now when you click out of that, that is now a link. If you look in your code, at the end of the paragraph, right there, you will see that you have all of your yada yada text, and then you have check today's open anchor href, meaning hyperlink reference, where to go, the address we just wrote in, surrounded by these little quote marks, and then the word weather, which is actually the link. So the A tag, what it's doing is it's surrounding the, so I'm going to cut this for a second just to show you guys. This is really what's happening. So in my code, I don't know if you can see this here, make it bigger. But in my code, the very basic setup is A open and close surrounds my word weather. But that's not enough, because although this turns it into a hyperlink, it doesn't know where to go. So that's why our we had to type in where to go, and it's over here, and that's the whole href address of the place to go. Okay, so if say that you decide that you want it to go somewhere else and you want it to go to the, I don't know, Santa Barbara Independent, I guess, I don't know what the Santa Barbara Independent code is. Let's see. Santa Barbara Independent. I believe it's probably just independent.com. There it is. So we can go back in here and you can replace the word weather for independent.com. That's all it took. And now my link, although it's ridiculous because it says weather, is taking me to independent.com. So if you want to change the word to check today's news, check today's local news, for example, then I would have to go in here to the word weather, which is the word that's the link. And I would check, and I would say, check today's local news. And so see how my links words change to local news, and where they're going to go is to wherever I wrote there in the tag. So now I created first something called weather. And then just by going into the source, I just changed the address of where it went to. And then I changed the wording of the actual link itself. So now I've created a link taking us to the Santa Barbara Independent. Okay, so that's all the explanation. That's what I did here. How are you guys doing with that? Any questions? We haven't tested it yet, so now we're gonna go test it. But right now I just wanted to see how it's going. Everyone put in that anchor. Any questions about the anchor? This is an external anchor taking us outside of our comfort zone or our place.
All good.
All good?
Yep, all good.
Yes, all
Okay.
good.
All right. So let's go check this out. First of all, save this file. Remember, say we've worked, I believe by now only in the HTML, but just in case, go ahead and say save all. In case some of you brought in some more fonts while I was talking or something, always say save all. So all the files get selected. And now let's go do a preview. Okay. So remember how to do a preview of this in a real website? Who remembers?
It's the thing on the bottom.
Yeah, that kind of described it. So I know what you're talking about because that's a good enough description. That thing on the bottom.
DOM, just before DOM.
Yeah, so right there in front of DOM, there's that little world site. Just so you know, you can also go up to view and say live, no, where is it? Oh, I found it last time and here I am telling you that again because I never do it from there. Here we go. I did this last week. I said, oh, just so you know, you can do it from here. And I found it, remember? But now I don't remember where I found it. Ah, real-time preview. Under File, real-time preview. There you go. So if you go to File Real-Time Preview, you get the same choices, which is any browser installed on your computer. So if at home, you only have one browser, that's how it will show up. Those of us who are in VDI computers have Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, and Microsoft Edge. So let's head over to Google Chrome. Or, I mean, you choose whatever you want. But since I'm already in Chrome, I'm opening up Chrome. Now, it's important for you guys to understand that this is another web page, okay? But this is real. This is a web page that's opening up on the internet, but your entire website is not on the internet yet. So only you can read it. You are seeing this as a preview, but you are not seeing this, like no one else could come in and see this website yet until you actually wrap it up, pay for a server spot, upload it to that company's server, and then it becomes a site that people can access. But while we're designing it, this is it. This is what we've got going here. And there's my link. And now that link is live for me to test it. So I'm going to click on local news and see if it takes me to the right place. And yep, here I am in the Santa Barbara Independent. Okay. So go ahead and test your link and see if your link works wherever you send your link to, wherever link you created. And if it works, that's fine. Now, in real life, when I have the chance to do this, I have my preview going all the time. I have it sitting right next to my screen, and as I design, I see all my changes taking place. That is the one thing that all of those of you who are home, you should be doing. You should leave this preview window open, and then everything else we keep doing today, you can just look to the side and go, oh yeah, there it is. The link came in, the link went away, I can test my stuff. Real life preview is going to just reflect the changes that you're doing on your site all the time. I don't have that possibility because of VDI and sharing my screen. It's just too much to handle and Zoom's gonna crash. So I'm gonna keep closing this window, and every time I need to check it, I'll open it up again. It's just not as efficient because if I'm really designing this, I would want to immediately see if things are working. Does that make sense? So for those of you who have your own setup, do keep this open. And then all of you who are using VDI, when you're outside of Zoom, like I'm not Zooming and you're trying to see me on top of being on VDI, you're really straining your resources. But if you're just on VDI, go ahead and do this too. Open up a new window and use Dreamweaver with more space, because at that point you won't have the added Zoom issues. And that makes it for you a good experience for you to test. Okay, so I'm going to say, yes, the link worked. I'm going to close this little window and I'm back into Dreamweaver. Okay. There is a way to test a link inside of Dreamweaver, but I don't see why try to do that when in reality you just want to test if it's working in the real place. Okay, so I would always test things in the real thing. All right, did that link work for everyone? Anyone have any questions about the link?
Nope.
Nope.
All right, cool. So that's an example of an external link. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to use internal links. Now what internal links mean is inside of your page, you have your home page, which is this index page we're designing, but then you have other pages inside of your own website. So in this case, we tentatively wrote, and it's very hard to see, but we had written about, portfolio, and contact. Remember that? So those three are words that could be my navigation. So I would want to be able to link to something. But each one of those things would have to be a page, okay? So I would have to have an about page, which talks about me, my biography, my resume, my beliefs in life, whatever I want it, my company, how big my company is, whatever it is that this website's about. Portfolio in this case would be where I showcase all my work, contacts, how to reach out to me. Each one of these would be another web page, okay? So if I'm talking another web page, what kind of files are these web pages made out of?
HTML.
They'd have to be HTMLs. I'd have to have one HTML for portfolio, one for contact, and I could assume maybe that the about is this one. Maybe this is the one I'm making, or an about could be another one, and this would be just homepage, in which case I would have to add the word home, okay? So if this is my, my homepage, then I don't have a link for it. And I need to add the word home here to make it be a link. Now, a lot of people don't, most places have the word home, but sometimes people skip the word home and then just put a logo. And the logo is what takes them to the home page, okay? But let's assume that we want a home page. And so let's go into where it says about, portfolio, and contact. Let's click in front of the word about, and let's add the word home and add a little space there. And so we're gonna say that this page that we've been designing, the index page, is the home page, because that is what the index page always is. It's the home page, okay? So now I just clicked in there and added the word home. Now, we need to create these pages, okay? So these pages can be something that I create and already have a lot of information in them, or they can just be a basic setup for a page. One thing that's usually a good idea is if you already have links in your header, so over here, if you already have links to material that you're going to need for those pages, you want that whole head to be identical in all of your web pages. Let me explain why. This head is where you put in all of the links to your fonts and to your CS styles, and if you have JavaScript or Bootstrap components, we don't have any here yet, all of that needs to be identical in every one of your web pages. That way, if you write an H1 in the next page, it comes out looking exactly the same as it did in your homepage. And if you write an H2, it comes out looking the same way as it did in your homepage. Does that make sense? You need that one CSS style page to be linked to all of your home pages, okay? So it might be time to make one of those extra pages or it might not, because there's still other stuff that I want to create. So a lot of times what happens is that you create the entire structure of your index page first before you create your other pages, just to make sure that you don't have to be copying your head all the time. But just for this example, let's go ahead and make one extra page so we have something to link to, and then we'll add another head to it in the future. So now go to your source page right here, your source code, index HTML. Go to your head, and if you don't remember how to find your head and you're not sure, you're kind of lost in your code, you can also click on DOM over here and open up your DOM. And when you open up your DOM, you can find your head, click on the word head right there, and then the entire head will be selected for you. In case you're not sure where to start and stop selecting, a quick way is to click on the word head in your DOM, and it selects that whole thing for you. I kind of like that system. Okay, is everyone with me? Now let's copy that head. Okay, so I'm gonna copy that head. Remember, if you are on, oh God, again, I don't know if my copy paste is working. Oh, that's not gonna be good, because if my copy paste is not working, this example won't be viable. Well, let's see if it works. So I'm gonna copy. Hopefully it'll work. Click here to confirm. So maybe that's all I needed. Let me say okay. Maybe that thing gave me my access to copying and pasting. All right, so I copied my head. Did everyone do that? Control C on a PC, Command C on a Mac. Now, because I don't want it to disappear, I can click away so that my selection doesn't stay live. Now I'm going to go up to File, New, and I can create a new HTML page. Let's not give it a title or anything right now. Let's not attach a CSS, because I just copied my head, right? So if I put it in here, if I don't have other stuff in my head, then that's what I would do in here. I would link to the same style sheet and stuff like that. But I'm just going to give it an emptiness. I'm going to say create. Just to show you what's happening, I'm going to go up here. I'm sitting on the CSS designer from the other day. I'm going to go click on files. And when this gets saved, it should be popping up in here. Okay. Right now, it's an untitled file, but once I save it, what I should see is that parallel to index, I will see something here that says about, because I'm about to create my about page. But the first thing I want to do is that I want to link the same information as I had before in my head. So I can again go by hand and go from head to head, and I'm going to replace it, or I can go here to the DOM and select it. That's the head of my new page. I can delete that, and then I can control paste. Let me see if it lets me. No, it doesn't let me. Let me see if it lets me. Let me see if it lets me. Oh, how frustrating. Let me see if it lets me right click and paste. Yes, it does let me right click and paste. Okay, so I right clicked and pasted. So this is all the material that I just had copied from my other page. And you saw how immediately there's one thing that already changed. Does anyone recognize what this is?
It's the background color.
The background. How did the background come into this page?
It's the CSS.
The CSS in my original index, okay? And what is it that's painted gray in my original index? What's painted gray? What element got gray?
The body.
The body, okay? So if I look down here, whoops, I just undid it. It's the body. And if I'm not sure, if I go to my CSS designer, I can click over here, and in my body, I can go find my body tag. And I can go over here to show set. And yes, in my body tag, if I show set, hold on, I need to collapse my dome. In my body tag, show set, you can see that my background is that dark gray. So the new page has only one tag. It only has one tag, and that one tag happens to be, believe it or not, the body tag. That's all it has, right? So the body tag, oh, I copied it in the wrong place when I was, shoot, I put my whole head in the body. I'm so sorry. That's when I was trying to, let me cut that. My body, my head needs to be above my body. There we go. So that's the structure. The head goes right after my HTML tag. And then my body is empty, but the tag exists. I messed up. I need to redo that because when I did that, I messed up. That's okay. I think it's working now, but it's not. Yeah, it's not copying well. Erg. I can't do it this way. Those of us who are on VDI, I don't think we're going to be able to do it this way. So if you did it at home and you have it, that's fine. But I'm going to have us do it a different way because I'm going to be running into troubles with this whole thing that's happening. So if it worked for you because you're not on VDI, that's great. Let's just do it a different way. So go up to this untitled that you made, get rid of it. Go ahead and hit this X and say don't save. Because I was going to show you the other way to do this anyway. So I'm going to show you the other way to do this so that it's cleaner because of my problems with copying and pasting are not going to make this work. All right. So now we're back to just the index HTML file. If I lost anyone, let me know. All I want is for you to get rid of what we just did. It should work for you guys who are at home, but I don't want you to have one page and then us to have two. And so just get rid of it because I'll show you another way, which is actually a bit simpler. Head over once you're done getting rid of that temporary file that we created. And I know that I might have created some mess in some of your guys' computers. So I'll help you check it out in a minute. But head over to your files. And another way to do that is we don't have too much in our site yet, right? So what we can do is we can copy our index HTML file directly. We can make copies of it in here and then take out the content. Okay. So if I tried, I don't know if the copy paste is going to work in here. Worst case scenario, it is going to work in, it is going to work at file level. So I'm going to open up my Google Drive file stream. And what we need to do is we need to go at file level. We need to go find our website. So I'm working on a website that's in my drive, Dreamweaver class files, Deanna's first website. So this is the file. If I look at the time, the last time I saved it was at 6:15 today. And yeah, there it is. This is October 8th, 6:15 p.m. I haven't done anything yet in my CSS, but I did a save all. So there it is sitting saved. And over here, you can just copy this file. So I'm going to do copy. Okay. Wow, why is it not letting me? Is it not letting me copy in here either? I am going to go crazy if VDI is not letting me copy in here. I'm going to do copy and then paste. Oh yeah, it allowed me. Okay. So all I did was I made a copy of my index file and I pasted it. So now I have two files called index and index copy. Now I can right click on that thing and I can rename it. And I'm going to call it about. Actually, lowercase is better for web pages. It doesn't really matter.
Home or about?
Index is your home.
Oh, I see.
So the index page is your home page. This is going to be your about page.
Oh, got it.
So make sure that you're in the actual root folder of your website. So you can confirm by looking at the times and make sure that it's the one that you're working on right now because we did a save. So I just created a new page at file level, and usually I would have done it inside of Dreamweaver, but I'm running into this issue with VDI. So if you're just created inside of VDI and made a copy paste, that's fine, but this is another way to do it. So now my about page is identical to my index with everything that's in it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
If I go back to Dreamweaver, I need to refresh. So over here, oh, it refreshed automatically. There it is. It says about. But in case you're not seeing the about, the way to refresh this, go down here. There's a little like arrow that gives you a quick refresh so that you can see it. Okay, so in my files, see how my about just appeared because I did it at file level. But if it didn't, this is their little refresh backwards arrow icon. And now you should be seeing your about page. I'm going to stop here, and before we edit that about page, I want y'all to give me a big green check mark if you are with me. If you have your about page, if it showed up correctly, if you don't have any other messes happening based on when I told you to do this and I backtracked, give me a big old yes. And if you don't, give me a big old no, and then I'll start helping you. So there's no shame in saying I'm not there, I need questions, I'm lost. Please give me a no and I'll help you catch up. Whenever I do something and then I undo it, I tend to lose people along the way. So I apologize for that, but I'm happy to help you. Okay, so Dorothy, let me go ahead and share your screen and I'll help you catch up. All right, I have, go ahead and see if sharing your screen, there we go, it's popping in. Okay, perfect. I need to find in this place where your other Zoom window is. Here we go. I need to make it bigger because the screen is showing up and I don't see. Okay, so what do we have here? Ooh, we have a little bit of a mess in the files area. A little bit confusing. You seem to have like a website inside of another website. You guys see what's happening? And I really appreciate, because usually these problems happen and people are stuck in their own little computers and don't get to see it. So the fact that by sharing, everyone gets to see what's happening, you have more of a chance to learn. Before I go any further on any of this, you opened your about page. And I'm going to ask you to, hold on, it's already open. If you see on the left side, you already double clicked it. And if you look at it, this is your about page. See that?
Yeah.
Did you create this one by copying at
Yeah.
the file level like I just showed? Or did you do it in
I didn't do it the way you did it. I did it the way you instructed us originally to do it.
Okay, and you know what?
I changed everything, and then I tried to go back and do it the way you did it, and then
yeah.
doubled it.
Well, here's the thing, and the reason I know that is because if I look at your code, pay attention to what's happening to your code, and you have two heads, two bodies, a body within a body, a head within a head. So how that was copied and pasted isn't working. See there? Look in your code. And you see at the very bottom, start from the bottom and you'll see HTML and you'll see the ending body and then an opening body. And then you have a head and then another head. So you've got a bit of a confused situation there with tags, and that's gonna mess it all up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of this page and we're gonna do it cleanly, okay? So go ahead and go up to this about page. It's easier to do this again than to fix code. And if we can fix this code, but then I'll be saying stuff that some of you guys didn't take the coding class and it'll be really confusing. So let's just get rid of this page because what got pasted isn't correctly. So turn that off. Yep. Cool. Now go over to the right to where it says files. Right click on your about. Yeah, you're fine. Right click on your about and see if you get the chance to delete. No, it's not letting you delete from in here. But maybe if you say, no. Yeah, so let's just go and do it from the file level. So go to your files because yeah, I don't trust, this doesn't, from in here, you can't do it. So go to your files because you have other stuff happening here. You have like, before we go to our files, let me show you in here what I'm seeing. You have, first of all, you have a site that you're working inside of is Sites Dorothy's new website. Then you have the drive download, which are the files that downloaded from me. And then you have another folder in there called first website. So you have like a whole website inside of a website. And so this is not fixable from here. We need to go to your files and clean up your files. Does that make sense? Your ultimate goal is that this website should be just the images, the index, and the styles. All the rest shouldn't be in this Dorothy's new website, okay? So let's go to your files. Let's go to your, you're on a PC, you're on a Mac, right? So go to your Finder. So go to your Finder and open up your Finder window, which you might not be sharing your Finder window, so we can't see it. So you might need to go up and share yours, go up to say new screen and share your entire desktop. So say new share up at the very top. The green button is going to say new share. Yeah, click on new share and then choose your, yeah, choose your entire desktop so that we can see more than just your Dreamweaver window. Cool. Now, go find the folder where you have your web page files. Okay, Dreamweaver class files. Okay, so open that up, double click. Perfect. All right. So now I'm gonna, by the way, I'm not gonna do this for you, but let me request remote control. That way, if I have to step in to point something out, it's easier to do it now. So go ahead and say approve. Cool. Okay. So now up here where you see Dorothy's first website, double click that folder so that we isolate it from all the rest of the stuff. Just double click on that top folder that says Dorothy's first website, because that's the one that your computer is using. See? Now in here you have a bunch of stuff, and if this is your website, the only thing you should have in here is your index, your about, your styles, and your images. The rest should not be in here. You have a drive download and you have that folder of a first website that needs work on an image, etc. Those two should not be in here. Now go back on the back arrow to where we were, and I'll show you how to get rid of the stuff that you don't need in here. Okay, so now grab that first website needs work on image folder, which is the third thing. Yeah, and then we don't need to open it up. Just keep it closed because it's the whole folder you need to get rid of. Grab that and then drag it and drag it out, kind of not out of anywhere. Let me just show you this part. Let me just show you this part. Hold on. Oh,
I lost it. We've got your share. You're sharing. No, you're controlling my screen.
No, I didn't touch anything. You need to go back to pull up your Finder again. I don't know what happened to your Finder. There it is. Okay, now I'm going to work on your screen. So let me use, don't touch your mouse. Let me just show you. Guys, let me see. This folder here shouldn't be here. So to get it out, I just need to grab it and drag it kind of above. So see how I'm putting it up here so that it's touching that edge? Or I could bring it out here and let go and see how it's now gone. And it's hard to distinguish, but if I open this up right now, see how it's not there anymore? I just dragged it out of her folder because this folder here did not need that. You have a whole bunch of things open here, so I'm going to clear this out, okay? So this was in there, is what we just had, and I took it out. I said, no, I don't want it in there. So I grabbed it from inside of there, and I took it out, and I dropped it outside. And this is the same if it's a Mac or if it's a PC. And the other thing that's in there that we don't want is this drive download. These are all the files that you downloaded, but they're not necessary. And you already have them downloaded, so you might want to get rid of this one because it's a lot of files taking up space in your computer. So it's up to you if you want them or not in there, but I just dragged it out. And so now your Dorothy's First website has only what's necessary in it. You have the images folder, the flowers edited, you have the about, the index, and the styles. But this about is no good. It's the one that's a mess. So go ahead and right click on that and delete that. Perfect. So now you have your clean folder called Dorothy's First website. Oh. Oh, no, that's fine. You just called it that. That was the right one. Okay. And now from here, I want you to make a copy of this index file, which is what I did. So go ahead and copy paste this index file. Dorothy? Yeah, you do that. Go ahead and do copy and paste.
Where am I going to paste it?
Right in here, because we want it to be exactly in the same spot as index, and we're going to call it about. So it's going to come in as an index copy. So just say right click copy or command C, whichever way you prefer to do your copies. Copy index HTML. I'm a shortcut person. Okay, and now right click and paste. And then we got to change its name. So you can select in that and call it about. Perfect. Now click away. All right, so now you're set up the same way I'm set up. I want everyone to make sure that this is what they have as their basic root folder setup. If there's anything else in here, it's not something that we brought in yet, and it shouldn't be here. Your root folder has to be clean, nothing extra. Now this about and this index, like mine, are identical to each other right now. They're not, you know, the about is not going to look the same as my index, but right now it is. Go back to Dreamweaver and let's see if we need to refresh, because see how in the background Dreamweaver still has the old setup. So go and click on Dreamweaver. So just click on the background, touch your Dreamweaver computer. Yeah, click in there, perfect. And now in your case, there you go. See how it alone updated? You guys saw over here how these files updated? So now she has her about, her images. You can go ahead and close the folder of images. That way it's easier to see. So you have about, images, index, and styles. Now these are in alphabetical order. That's why the about is above images. Okay, but it doesn't matter if it's above or below. It's just at the same level as index. Did you understand what we did? I found that there was a lot of stuff here that you didn't need. But you can't handle those files from in here. You need to get out of here the stuff, but you need to do that at file level. So we went to your file folder, to the Finder. If you're on a PC, it would be to your Windows Explorer, and just moved out all the stuff that you didn't need. And now it's clean. So when you came back in here, it instantly refreshed, and now you have your clean website folder. So now you're at the right spot. I'm going to stop your sharing. Go ahead and you do that. Stop your sharing. Perfect. And anyone else whose files panel does not look completely clean? Okay, Robert. Okay, whoa, why am I disconnected? Yikes. Give me a sec because my VDI disappeared. For me, you don't see that because I'm not sharing, but let me make sure that I get connected to VDI again. There I am. Okay. Robert, let me do this. I'm going to clear up my participants buttons, and based on what you just saw me do with Dorothy, if anyone needs any help of that kind, because you have some messy files in there, please give me a little green check mark. Green check mark means you're fine, you don't need help, and give me a little no, red if your files are not clean and you know that you're going to need help. And if a lot of you guys need a hand, then that's fine. But if it's only one or two, I was going to say take off on breaks, but quite a few of you need help. Okay, this part is a learning experience. If those of you who totally understand what's happening, totally got it, and don't need to hear me helping individually, then you're welcome to take off for 5 minutes. But I'm not going to call this a break. But I find that the problems might be different in each one. And if you're willing to sit through, you're probably going to learn quite a bit because quite a few of you guys have something going on. So, all right, Robert, give me a share of your screen, or ask me if your question is just different, but I'm assuming that it's the same because I asked about who has files messed up.
Yeah, I need to share screen.
Go ahead and share your screen then. Perfect. All right. So I'm looking at your index files and yours looks very clean. You have images, index, and styles, but what you don't have is your copy of your index yet. So you're on a Mac or a PC? On a Mac. Okay, so go open your file, your Finder. Go find your, where do you keep your files?
I keep them.
Your website files. And documents, or where are you keeping them? You have to go find them.
I'm not sure.
Well, if you're not sure, then let's go up here. I can tell you where it is. So, and you can all see where it is. So go see in the Dreamweaver up there, you guys. In his tab that says local files, he has it really big. I don't know why you would want it so wide, but okay. In fact, here, I'm going to request remote control so I can demo some stuff. You said okay. Right. So just so you know, all of this extra space that you have here is unnecessary. So I'm going to put my mouse here, and I'd rather see more website than so much panel. So I'm going to click and drag this panel to the right side so that it doesn't take over so much of your screen, and that'll give you more space to either make your web page bigger, or you can bring the whole thing down a little bit to make more space on your computer, right? But then it's a little bit easier. But one of the benefits of having that big wide panel was that it's easy to read, that if you look at his site up here, it's telling you where it is. It's telling you that in his Macintosh hard drive, under users, under his name, in the downloads folder, he has his Dreamweaver class files. And in that place, he has Robert's first website. So his entire site is running off of his downloads folder. Do you see how I found it, you guys? Mm-hmm. So even if it's smaller, so if you're wondering where your files are, even if it's smaller, this thing, you hover over it and it gives you the entire path. It tells you where you are storing. So just hover over the file, go to yours, hover over it, and you can read in there the entire path of stuff. So now I know that I need to go to his downloads folder and go into his Dreamweaver class files, and then I'll find Robert's first website. So go back to your Finder now, because now we know where it is. Cool. So go down to your downloads folder. Cool. Go to your Dreamweaver class files. I think it was under class files 2. Let me hover over. Yeah, click on that one, I think. There it is, Z, Robert's first website, because it had that Z in front of it, I remember. So that's it. There you go. So here, this is the web page that you're building. This is the folder for it. So now go to that index file and copy and paste and create a new one. Okay, so Command C or right click copy, and then V. Okay, now click in there and change that name to about. Click one time. No, we're not wanting to open it right now. So go ahead and yeah, just right click rename. Yeah, and call it about. Okay, perfect. You might want to change that name again to about. The little R, yeah. And you can just click onto that little R or I guess you're going to retype the whole thing. Okay. Perfect. Hit return and enter. Now this other window that opened up here, we don't need. So go ahead and close it. This is your HTML just opened up when you double clicked on it. So go ahead and close that. Yeah. All right. So your file's set up. You made your copy. So now go back to Dreamweaver. Just click on the Dreamweaver where your mouse is. Just click on that to bring up Dreamweaver again. And there we go. And over there, if you look at your files, it already popped in. Your about folder, your about file popped in. Do you see it? Up there in your files. Go up to your panel. I made it thinner so you might recognize it. Yeah, so there, right under that, you'll see your about that you just made. All right. So there you go. So I haven't had you guys open it or anything yet, but there it is.
Now,
So
also, my hyperlink didn't work.
okay, so let's go check your code. Weather.com ahref. Okay, I see why. So go down to your code. Go down to your code. Do you see where you have it there in your paragraph? And if you don't see it, then you can use the DOM to help you. Click on the second paragraph of your DOM and see there the little A. That's your anchor tag. Keep going down. Keep going down with your mouse. No. Where your mouse was, over here. Move over to the right where your mouse. Yeah. And then CH1, H2, paragraph, keep going down with your mouse, following. And there's your A tag. One down, right there, one under. There's your A tag. Click on that. There you go. That brought up your A tag, which now helps you find it in your code. So now look at your code and there it is. See how it's been highlighted?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so notice everyone, I don't know if you guys can see big enough, but in his href, he has the HTTPS weather.com, and then right before the word weather, he has a little closing anchor tag. You see that? We don't need to close that tag in there. So do you see where I'm pointing to in your code? Do you see your anchor tag?
No.
Okay, so when you clicked on the DOM on that A, if you now go look at your code, there's a gray highlighted area, and that's your code. There it is, exactly. So now, right in front of the W for weather, there's an extra little anchor bracket. So delete that little guy. Yeah, just hit, and now make a little space again. You need a little space for it again. You are missing, let me see what else. I think that's, no, you actually needed that there. HTTP, actually, no, you need to keep that there. I made a mistake. I thought you had a double, but you don't have a double. That needs to be there. So what else are you missing? Oh, you have a space after the R. It says weather space dot, I think. Go in there and see where it says weather.com. I think there's a space between the R and the dot. Yeah, go into the, go to the left, like 5 or 7 spots, and you'll see that I think, visually, I think I can see a space between the R and the dot. Go to the dot, and no, is that not an extra space? Hit the return.
Diana?
It's not a good link.
For me, the weather.com didn't work either. I use another link.
Oh.
The Seattle Times. The
Okay.
weather.com says it's not allowed.
Oh, okay. Well, then go ahead and write independent.com, which I think is what mine was, right?
Yeah, I put Seattle Times and then it worked.
Okay,
But
put Seattle Times. Yeah,
the weather.com didn't allow.
Okay, so I don't know why, but okay, so put in the word independent and that'll take you to the Santa Barbara Independent. Okay, thank you for saying that, you guys. Since I ended up changing mine before we tested it, because I was just showing you how to change it. I never bothered testing, and so I wasn't aware that the weather wasn't working. Okay, so now change that just to be clear, so it doesn't say weather. Go also and change the text that says weather to local news, just so it makes more sense. But yeah, or to the Santa Barbara Independent, you know, whatever you want to write in there. But check today's local news, and then save your file. And then if you go preview, it should this time work, because I do know the Independent works because I saved to that. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and test it on your own. Meanwhile, I'm going to stop your sharing because you can't taste it from here, right? You have to go do a preview and then test it, because from there it's never going to work. Is that, you know that, right?
Okay.
Go do a real-time preview and check your link. Okay. Anyone? Let me see. Robert, you're set. Now we have Tim and Mira. Go ahead. Tim, I saw yours first. Sorry, Mira. So, oh, and Daryl also. Okay, so Tim, let's check on yours.
Yeah, I should just share the screen, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I started working from your copy last week.
Okay.
There we go. VDI.
So go to share. You have to be in your Zoom, and there you go. You need to click on the second little blue button on the right side that says share for it to complete the share process. So the first green button, and then you need one more button, the blue on the bottom right button, for it to fully share.
I don't see that. Sorry.
Well, after you hit the green screen, have you never shared with me?
I did one time. Yeah, it says sharing is paused. Bring your shared window to the front.
You might have clicked again on the window, and then you dropped it out of the share mode. Try again. Go ahead and click on share again. There we go. Okay.
Now, but I need to show you the desktop.
So go to your.
There, I think it works.
Yeah, perfect. I'm seeing your screen now. Someone else, there's noise in the background. So if someone has any noise going on in the background, if you're walking around or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone for a second, because since people have gone on break or something, they might not be there to mute themselves. So Tim, I just muted everyone, including you. So go ahead and mute yourself so that you can talk to me.
Okay, here I am.
Okay, all right.
So I stopped working off of this file, Tim's first website, last week, and started working from your copy this.
No, you can't from your local disk work in VDI. What's that?
It's the Google Drive file.
Oh, that is, yeah, Google Drive file stream. Perfect. Okay.
Call it local, yeah. Because I'm
all right. VDI. All right.
So I copied the about, I copied the index and renamed it about as per your instructions. And then I didn't know if it mattered whether what was in this panel or not. You know, I'm not working anymore. You're not working in this one. You're trying to work in the other one. So you are opening this site. You need to open the other site. This is the HTML that you're opening. If you did that copy in there, then you have to close this one and open that one. So let me explain. Okay. Right now, by doing what you're doing, looking for files this way, you're seeing other websites, but the HTML that you have open right now belongs to the one that you were in before. I think it's Wolf's first. Which one is it that you're in? This one here. Tim's first website. That's the one we're in. Okay. So if you don't want to be accessing these files, you want to work on another one, then you need to close this index. You need to open up the other one and open the other index. Does that make sense? I think so. The one that's open, this is my version of your copy from last week. That's what's open right now.
Yeah, but you made your copy somewhere else. You didn't make your copy in your Tim's version. You made your copy inside of the copy this.
Right, that's right.
So
now, okay.
So it's not working. I don't know if over here it might allow you to drag it. Go try. If you can grab that about and drag it and drop it into Tim's first. Go and grab that about. I don't know if you can do that at this level. Click and drag and see if it lets you drag it out of there. Yeah, put it in Tim's first website. Drop it. There you go. Now double click the folder of Tim's first website. Actually, you need to select it as a go to manage sites. It's easier way. So see up in top right where it says manage sites. Yeah. Click on Tim's first website. And then I'll say done. Yeah, just all you need to do is click. Yeah, you double clicked. So go ahead and say cancel. You just needed to go to it. We didn't need to double click. Say cancel. Just select it and now say done. There you go.
Oh.
So now you are in this one and only this one. You shouldn't navigate from up there where you were navigating before. That's not, it's fine, but then you get all of the files messed up, kind of like it happened. It was fine because you went and you copied and you brought it. But when you're really working on this one, you want to see just this one. And to do that, you can go through the manage sites situation. Now you're in here. Okay, so your about is here and it's fine. It's ready to go for us for when we start again. Although, is this about, does it have the word home, for example? Because your index file here has the word home, and I don't know if you're about, if you actually copied it from the original.
It does, yes.
It does.
It's right.
Okay.
So there it is. See.
Okay, perfect. So it is a perfect copy, and it has the anchor. It has the anchor link that we just added. So you did copy it from the right place. Okay, you had just put it in. You had just put it in the. Go down to the anchor link. Yep, it's there. So fine, you copied in the right place, but somehow you ended up pasting it into or putting it in a different folder. Cool. You're all set and ready to go.
Good.
Thanks for sharing.
Nope.
It's interesting. Thanks for sharing, which usually means something else, but still, you are sharing of yourself. You're sharing your desktop.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mira and Donald and Daryl. So Mira.
I'm sharing.
Yeah, go ahead and share. Those of you who wanted to take off, this isn't officially a break, but if you need to get up and move around, that's fine. I still will give us a shorter break because I need a break too. But this is a good time to. Okay, so go ahead and cancel because I don't know what you're doing right now. I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. So cancel for a second.
So I copied the index file, but I don't know where to.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't a copy paste. This is a save as kind of situation. So this is not the same as copy. So go to the bottom right and say cancel. Yeah. So let's start again. So what you have the index HTML and the untitled. So I want to avoid this situation because of the copy paste. So close your untitled, which you were trying to save, get rid of it. So go up to at the very top where it says index HTML, source, styles, and untitled. Click on that little X of the untitled and get rid of it.
This one?
Yeah. Say don't save. Since you're on VDI like me, you probably will have the same copy paste issue, so I don't want to go there. So now go to the bottom where it's a tag, the taskbar where it says Mira's first website, very much at the bottom of your entire computer. Yeah, and click on that. So bring up the files. There you go. And now, yeah, go and copy paste that index. So go ahead and say copy to the index file. Click again, put your mouse on the word index to copy. I'm not sure what you're copying right now. There you go. Right click, copy. There you go. Go all the way to the bottom, copy. Perfect. Now click on this is the white stuff and say paste. Cool. Change that name to about. And click away and you are set. Just to make sure, let's go back into Dreamweaver now. All you need to do is click on one of these dark, click on it. Yeah, just click in here and make a click so you actually highlight, and about should be popping in. And since it's not, just to make sure you're on the right one, go ahead and do that little refresh of your web page to make, yeah, there it is. Now about showed up. Okay.
Thank you.
So cool.
Looks
Perfect.
good.
Yeah. So go ahead and stop sharing. And now, Daryl, are you there, Daryl?
I'm here, but I don't need help.
Oh, okay. Since you had a little.
I guess I put the wrong thing on.
Okay. Cool. Then
I have a
everyone.
question.
Yeah.
So if later we edit something in the head, like we decide we want to use a different web font,
Yeah.
we've got to go into every page and edit it, or is there a way to link them?
Yeah, basically what I just said is that normally you would wait until you have it all defined before you create a new page. But sometimes changes happen on the fly like this. And so what you would do is you would go back to the about page, select your head file, copy it, and then just go to the other 3 pages and just replace and paste, paste, paste. And so it isn't such a long-term process, but it is ideally something that you establish first before you create the other 4. But I kind of want to move on to create another one so that we can create an internal link. So I'm creating an about page. Later, if we create the rest of them, we would hopefully do that once our head has been defined. But it's not that hard. Many times you do end up changing because someone says, oh, I don't like that font. I like it for this font. Well, you just go and select just the link to that font. Copy that and then paste it in the neck and all the rest of the heads, and that brings that font in there. Now, those are major changes. Changing the font of a website is major. So if you have to do that once or twice, you'll do that at the beginning when you're defining it. By the time you've created your entire, 25-page website, by then you should know what your font is going to be. So you wouldn't have to do it 25 times. You would just do it at the beginning when you have 1 or 2 or 3 that you're playing around with. Once you've got it set, then after that, you just create your new web pages, and you don't have to be messing around with that anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes, and one last question is,
yeah,
if you decide that you're not going to use a Google font or an Adobe font, should you delete all that junk?
Yeah, definitely. You want to have that be pretty clean. So right now, the fact that we have 3 types of fonts, that's not ideal. That was just, I'm demonstrating something of how to get fonts from 3 different places. But if you decide you're not using the Google font, you would definitely delete that link. Or the Edge font, I have like 5 fonts in there. If I decided I really wanted only one of those, then I could just delete the others from inside of that to have only the one that I want. So you would definitely, once you decide what you want, you just clean it up, and then you copy that head into all your existing HTMLs. And then next time, as you create the new ones, you have a template one, which doesn't have anything in it, but it just has the head. So you can always go in and copy that head. In this case, we copied an existing file that already has some images and stuff, but it's easy to go ahead and delete all that now, and then have that one be kind of like a template one that you can just copy many times to create all your basic files. Before you begin to really create the contents of each one of them. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, so now it's officially break time. So it's 7:13. I'm gonna give a shorter break than normal because some people have already been out. So anyone who's been with me up until now, you only get 10 minutes. At 7:13, we're gonna go till 7:23. Come on back, and if you need a bit more than that, then come back at 7:25. And then anyone else who's out there doing stuff, taking break, note to be back between 7:23 and 7:25. I'm going to start again. Okay? All right. I'm going to stop. I'm going to mute everyone because that usually helps during break for everyone to be quiet. And I'm going to mute myself. Start the recording again. I always have to put myself little post-it notes to remember. There we go. Okay, so take off I have 3 Post-it notes on each one of my screens to remind me to start the recording. Okay. So everyone is set up with all of the correct files, or should be set up with the correct files. If you didn't ask me, then it might not be, but other than that. So what I want to do now is I want to do understand that when we open the About from here, this is going to be identical to what we have, but the new page shouldn't be identical. It should just have the same head. So if you were gone, Daryl asked a good question at the end saying, oh, but what if I now choose to change the font? Then do I need to change that Google link, say that I go to Google and bring in a different a font in there? Do I need to change it everywhere? And yes, you do, because the head is what holds that link. So my response to that is that normally you wouldn't create many other pages. You would create 1 or 2, maybe 3, play around with the links, the setting, the formatting, all the general look of the site, choose your ad, choose your colors, choose your styling, do the whole, setup of your structure, your wireframing, and then that's the one that you copy 20 times and they become all the 20 different files. So you don't have to go in and at that point, when you have all your 20 pages done, say, oh, now I want a new font. But if you do, after 20 pages are set up, want a new font, then you would have to copy that font link into all 20 of the HTMLs. The CSS, on the other hand, is only one. So that one CSS will style everything. So there's no need to change that 20 times. But the 20 HTMLs would have to have the new code copied in, okay? And the old one deleted or something like that. But ideally, what happens is when you do those kind of major changes, you do them when you don't have a ton of pages. That said, sometimes you're going to go redesign something and you already have 20 pages set up. Then that's what it takes. You redesign something, you copy that entire head, and then you open every HTML and you just go paste, paste, copy, paste, and you replace the head on all of the pages so that it reflects the new linked fonts and stuff like that. So it's not a hard, even if you have to do that, it could be a total of, a minute's worth of copying and pasting and saving the files again for all of your website to be updated. So even then you just need to be consistent and to do it everywhere so that all your heads are the same. The only thing in the head you don't want to be the same though is the name of that page, the title. So right now in our index page, our title is Diana's first web page, right? But the about page, now when we open it, is also going to say Diana's first web page. So the rest of the head has to be identical, but not the title. And then of course, everything that's in the body, all the content of the file, the page is going to change, okay? So now let's go open that about HTML. So I'm going to double click on about HTML over here. Let me bring
your screen.
Thank you, Chris. I can always count on you to keep me honest. Thank you. Here we go. She's the one who reminds me. The rest of you silently wait, and she just goes, you're not sharing, and I thoroughly appreciate that because I'm not always able to see what the screen that's being shared versus the screen that you're seeing. Okay, so here we're gonna go. Here's what I was showing, that in my head, I have the title tag that says Diana's first web page. Now that head, everything else in the head is my links to my CSS, my link to my 2 fonts, and my character set, which we're all writing in the same character set for all of them. So everything stays the same. The only thing that needs to change is Diana's first website. So when I did a copy paste, my about file now is identical. So I'm going to double click on about right here and I open it up by double clicking. And I double click it from in here, so it opens up in Dreamweaver, not from your file level. If you double click on an HTML at file level, it opens up as a sample web page in Chrome or something. And so now I have my about page, but there's no way to distinguish this one from the index page because the content is identical. So as long as you confirm that what's up here is your about page now, you can go here, and the first thing I want you to do is go into the title and change this title, which is like line 5, and call this one your about page, right? So maybe it's about Diana Mosaki or whatever, whoever you are, the artist that you are, or the massage therapist that you are, or the business that you are, or whatever, right? But so we're going to write that as, that's the name that's going to appear on the tab in Chrome to define your website. And remember, titles are something that Google searches to make sure that your site is accessible. It needs to be a good description of you're about to show. Okay, so you can't get like poetic and stuff like that with these things. It really needs to be a very specific description of what your page is all is showing. So the about has to be your resume and your stuff like that, or you know, description of what you believe in or what reason you're doing this website. All right, the rest of the tag can remain the same, but then all the stuff that's in the body is not necessarily the same. What has to remain the same though are the links, the about, portfolio, and contact. Now, I am noticing that I ended up copying one that wasn't my last version. So see how in about, portfolio, and contact, I don't have my home page. So when I did my copy paste, I must have done something I hadn't saved. So I'm going to add the word home right there. And you can't see it because it's dark over gray, but I was missing the word home. So I'm going to save that. Okay. So, so what we're going to do now is the only the only way I can distinguish one from the other is I'm going to go down here to my my first web page, and I'm going to go ahead and, for now, just so that it's clear, I'm going to select that and I'm going to change that to the word about. Okay. And I don't want anything else in it, so I'm going to get rid of the rest of the stuff that's on this page. I'm just going to leave the word about in my yellow section. So there's so many ways to delete stuff. If you're comfortable with code, go ahead and do it in code. But the whole point of Dreamweaver is because some people might not be comfortable in code. So let's head over to the DOM. Okay. The DOM, remember, if it's collapsed, you'll find it way down at the bottom there. You need to click on it one time and it'll pop up. And then when you open up your DOM, you should have your head and your body. Your head needs to stay, okay? Your body, you can't get rid of your whole body, because one thing you want to stay the same is your nav, right? Now our nav isn't linked yet, but we do want it. So we don't want to get rid of the nav, which is inside of the header, so don't get rid of the header. But you can get rid of everything else. You can get rid of the image and the section, but don't get rid of the footer, because every page is going to have the same footer. Okay, so basically I can go over here to the word image, and I can just delete it from right here. And it's going to, by doing that, it's going to delete from the whole page. So go over here and select the image, and you can just hit your delete key, or you can right click and delete. People who like right clicks better. And there you go, my image disappeared. And then inside of my section, I have my H1 that says about. I want to keep that, but I want to get rid of my H2. So I'm going to right click and delete. And I want to get rid of both of my paragraphs, or I have one paragraph, sorry, in here with an anchor tag. I want to get rid of that. So again, this time, instead of hitting right click and delete, I'm just going to hit the delete key on my keyboard. That works as well. So now I'm left with a similar page as before, but not the same. Now, if I don't want this about to be constrained to the right side of my page, I would have to go and change that. But right now, my intent isn't to make this page look good. My intent is to have us link our nav from the index page, that if I click on about, that it would take us to our about page. Okay? And then from our about page, I want to create a link that if I click on the home page, it'll take us back to our index page. So that's the reason for the existence of this about page. Okay. So it's not to make the about page look good. In the future, when I really want the about page to look good, I'm going to first have to finish defining the whole setup in the index page, and then copy my head again. And we're going to make our about page be more functional. But right now, I just wanted another file available.
So Deanna?
Yes.
Once you decided to delete all this thing from about page,
Yeah.
it's permanent?
Yeah, it's permanent. Mm-hmm.
So you cannot go like, oh my gosh, I deleted something different. Not that I
Well,
could.
right now, before I save and close, I could probably still do undo once or twice. But remember, the undo and Dreamweaver seem to be going amongst 3 different files. The undo is a bit unreliable because if I undo this instantly after deleting it, then it'll come back. But if I've already gone to styles and made a change there, or gone to HTML, then your undos are going to go back and undo everything on all these other files. So the undo is limited use. It only works instantly. If I just deleted the H1, I'm going to select my one and I delete it, and I didn't mean to delete it right now, I can do Control Z and it'll still appear. But much later than right now, yeah, it won't. Okay. So yeah, the whole point is that your about page should not be the same as your index, as your home page. All you need to be the same, consistent though, is usually your nav bar and then your styles, right? So whatever you write appears in the same style as your home page. It needs to look physically the same way, and that's the CSS page. So the moment I write another H2 here, it's going to come out in that other funky cursive font. The moment I start writing a paragraph, it's going to open the same thing. But what I'll have to say here, it'll be my resume, or it'll be, you know, photos of, you know, my headshot. Instead of the flowers, I might put an image of my headshot, right? Or whatever it is that my about is going to be. So you should have different content, just as long as you have the same styles and the same, and this is very important, the same navigation. Navigation has to remain consistent through your entire website. Okay, so let's start working on navigation. So if you got rid of stuff from your about page now, go ahead and save. And so let's go and save all. So now again, save all now is saving 3 things. It's saving the about, the index HTML, and the style CSS in case you made a change in your style CSS. So it's a bunch of stuff is being saved right now all at the same time. All right. I'm going to head back to my index. I'm going to first create my hyperlinks in my home page. So before I go into doing this, any questions, you guys? Nope. All right.
No.
Yes?
Nope.
Oh, that was a no. Okay, great. Sometimes when you open up and take off your hand and just say the no, I hear the little like I don't hear the word, I hear a little yelp because I only hear the ending of your no. So I didn't know if it's a yes or a no.
Deanna, I have a problem.
Yes, Dorothy.
Again.
That's fine.
Nothing happened when I got rid of the image down in the DOM. The image is still there. My text, my first web page did not change when I changed it.
All right, so share your screen. Maybe you're doing it not to the thing that you're seeing. So share your screen. You might be doing it to the one that's hiding. That should be relatively easy change. Just share your screen. All right. So hold on, your screen is always a bit hidden to me. I need to bring it over to this page. Okay, so
yeah, change the title.
Hold on, you're in the about page right now. Yes, you are. Okay, and the title won't change until we preview it in Chrome. Okay, because that's what that title is. That title is that thing that if you preview in Chrome, you see the name on the tab. So you shouldn't see any change yet. Okay, then what else? You said you tried to do?
I took the image off on the DOM. I deleted it in the DOM.
But I still see it, so that's interesting. So go ahead and click on that image. And click again.
On the image itself?
Yeah, I feel like it's there. It says image, so the tag is still there. I'm trying to see if it lights up somewhere in your source. So scroll down to show us where it might be. Huh, you don't seem to have that anywhere in your, I don't see it in your source. Where's that image coming from? Go ahead and do an undo. Do a Command Z.
Image up here.
No, that's your selector. That's your CSS saying what it needs to look like. But in your DOM, go open your body tag in your DOM. So let's see, we'll see it there. If it's anywhere, we'll see it there. So click on the little arrow next to the word body here in the DOM so that it opens up. And now open your header, open your section. Let's see if we can find, keep scrolling. So by saying open your header, open your section, I'm still talking about the DOM. Go to the DOM and open up that little arrow next to the header so we can see. Okay, not there. Now keep scrolling and open the section. Keep scrolling, not there. And under the paragraph, you probably only have your anchor, but try it again. Click on that. Yeah, it's not there. Why are you seeing that photograph? I don't know. Let me give request remote control. Okay, so there's your header, there's your section, there's your image tag. I'm gonna click on that. Source. I'm going to right click and delete it from up there. Huh. It's like it's a ghost image or something. Okay, let's do this. Let's save. Can you save that file? Save all, close it and open it up again to see if it disappears. So go ahead and say save all. Okay, now, oh, wait. Okay, hold on. When you see things in dialog boxes, it's important to read what they say. You just kind of said, okay, okay. And it was asking you to update something. And I don't know now what updated. So really, and that's not just you, I'm just showing it in your case, but everyone does that. They just kind of start clicking okay to stuff. And I don't know what updated to what, like if something overrode something or not, like I don't know right now. But anyway, it already happened. So you have to take those things carefully. Okay, now say close, because yeah, I don't know what got updated. So I'm wondering, so that could have given us an inkling to what was happening. So now close the About tab. Go up there and close that tab from the file name. Yeah, close it. Cool. Now, we don't need to be seeing our styles this way either, so close the Styles tab. You certainly don't need to be opening the Styles tab. Yep, and that leaves us with just this one. Okay, so now go back to the right side of your screen, to the panel, go up to the Files panel, and let's open the About again. And double click on the About. And let's see if it opens up. The tag is gone. It was some kind of after image on your screen or something. It's so weird because the tag was truly gone. So that was my workaround, okay? To close it and open it up again. Because we searched for it, we couldn't find it. Sometimes you might have had it in some other weird place, but no. All right, so now go ahead and get rid of your paragraph tag as well. So you can do it from the DOM again, and let's see if it does that thing again. So go open your DOM and let's see if perchance, click on the little arrow on the body and open your section and go and get rid of your paragraph tags. Go and right click and see if that deletes.
This one?
Yeah, right click or just hit the delete key, whichever you prefer. Click on that. Yeah, there, this time it deleted. Get rid of the second paragraph, the other paragraph tag and the H2. Yeah, hit delete or right click delete, whatever you prefer. Hit the, otherwise it's the delete key.
Why are we deleting those?
Because we don't hit the, please do it and then I'll explain why you're doing it. Go to the paragraph tab and get rid. This is your About page. And so we're just gonna have something different on this About page. We don't need him here. So, and now save. I'm noticing that our footer keeps crawling up. So our footer isn't fixed to the bottom. I need to have us fix that. But for now, you're done. Your About page is cleaned up. So go ahead and head back up to the index page at the top. Click on index. And we're going to keep from here. We're going to work on this nav bar. Okay, so you're fine. Give it a save all. And now we shall stop. So you guys, sometimes sharing, you're welcome, is very important because you see how to fix things. And that's an example. Sometimes there's this I don't know, glitches, things that happen. First, if you know that it shouldn't be there and you check and it's not there, then yeah, in that case, I don't know why. Maybe Zoom happening at the same time, the computer's slow at responding, but it had left an image of something that wasn't there. Close and open up again, and it's gone. All right, so you learn how to troubleshoot your own stuff by watching me troubleshoot people's stuff, okay? All right, anyone else before I start sharing my screen again? No, okay, so share my screen. You got me relatively well trained, Chris. I did remember this time to share my screen before I start talking. Okay, so now let's create those links. So first thing I want to do is I want to create a link to the About page. Okay, so over here where it says About, in the nav bar, I can select it here in this in this source, or I can just go in here and select it in the About. Okay, now this time if I select it in here, I can insert the link right there like we did before. If I choose to use the source instead and select over here, and if I want to insert a link in the code, then to insert a link in the code, I would go to insert hyperlink. Okay, so this might be a bit more work. It was so simple to select it here and just click on the link, but I'm showing you it's exactly the same process. Since we already did it this way once for the external link, I figured I'm going to show you how to do it here now. So basically, if you don't know how to find this, go to your DOM, hit the nav bar tag, and the nav bar tag was hiding inside of our body, so you might need to untwirl the body. I'm trying to show you these things so that you do them, so that you find alternate ways to get to places, because sometimes one is more efficient than the other. Open your head, select your nav, and when you select your nav, then you'll see over here, in my case it's on page on line 15, my nav is selected. So now I'm going to select the word About and just the word About. And I'm going to go up to the insert, and I'm going to head down to say insert hyperlink. Now the hyperlink is going to ask me what's the text of my link. So what words do I want my link to say? And About is correct. I want it to say that. Okay. And then here's the question. I can type here my link. So if this was an external site, this would be where I would have written https://independent.com. But this time I want it to be a local link. It's not going to be an external link. So I can do that by browsing for my About file that it's supposed to link to. There's many different ways to do that, but one way is by browsing. I want to basically let me just cancel for a second. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this page, the word About on this index page, to make this file open. Does that make sense? So when I'm in this website and I click on About, what needs to happen is that this About HTML has to open. That's the goal of this hyperlink. So back to where I was, insert hyperlink. So what I need to write in here, if I know the name of my web page that I'm trying to link to, I just write it in here, about.html. But say I forgot, I don't remember it was exactly, you cannot make a mistake. It needs to be exactly how it's written, even up to upper lowercase or anything like that. You never want spaces anyway. So the other way is to search for it. In case you forgot that it's about HTML, you can click on the web, on the browser, and then you just click on the icon on the file that you need, and then you don't even have to write it. Because what if it has a complicated name, like the last name of the person that you're writing about or something like that? So this makes it a little bit safer, and I say okay, then it was written in for me. But I could have easily typed about .html. Now the important thing is, as you can see, there's no need to do HTTPS and all of that shebang. This is an internal link. So all I need is the name of the HTML file I'm supposed to head to when I click on that link. okay? So I can type it in. You need to write about.html, the whole thing, or I can search for it. Click on the one that you want, say okay, and the only other thing that we need to do here after we say okay, and now I'm going to show you if I had written it. So I just went in, I'm doing it again. I would have typed HTML, okay, and I can say okay. So now if I look down here in my code, I now have an anchor tag inserted, and it's surrounding the word about. So here's the opening. This is the whole tag that got inserted. Around the word about, I got the A anchor tag sending me to the about. Then I have my text, and then I have my closing tag. Okay, so this entire thing is the opening tag. So it opens up, it says A, then it gives you the variables with the link where to go. It closes that opening tag. Then you have the text, and then you have the ending closing tag. So I've created a link, and if I look up here, it's hard to see because my background is so dark, but I have my about has become a link. Okay. Let's go ahead and save all. And let's give that a try. Now, in order for us to see these better, I'm going to go ahead and do something in my CSS because I'm getting tired of having this very dark background, and for demonstration purposes, it's very hard to show you what's happening here because of the colors, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go change in the CSS the color of this text. What do you guys think I need to do to change the color of this text in my CSS? So I'm going to let you guys tell me. I want to see, say, light yellow or white text in there. So what should I do to make that text be light, very light yellow?
Edit the edit the nav element.
Okay, edit the nav what? The nav
Selector.
Selector. Okay, do I have a nav selector yet? I don't know. Let's head over to the CSS designer and check. And so for me to check, I need to go to my selectors, which in this case, it's a little bit hidden because my properties are there. So I'm going to bring it down and I'm going to go, I have body, H1, H2, image, section, footer. I don't see a nav selector. So it looks like it's time to make a nav selector so that I can make my nav font be white. Does that make sense, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make it look a certain way. I don't have a select for it. I got to make it. So let's go ahead, and the easiest way to get it to be the right name again is to click into your nav tag. So I'm going to click into my nav tag right there. Or I'm going to click into my nav tab right there, wherever tag I'm clicking into. I get to now make a selector for it. So did y'all find your selectors? Did you go to your CSS designer? You might need to bring down the properties. You might need to make your DOM, collapse your DOM a little bit again so that you can see this better. So you need to be moving these things up and down, right? And so now I'm going to make it a new selector. So I click on the plus sign next to selector to make a new selector right there. And since I clicked into it, it's showing me the nav is inside the header is inside the body, and I can just get rid of all of that and leave only the nav and hit return because I want the nav to be the only name that I'm modifying. So my nav, I have show set because the last time I looked at it, it shows me nothing because I haven't given the nav any selectors, values yet or properties. So I'm going to unclick the show set. If you had it at all, then unclick it. And what I want is the color of my text. So I'm going to head down to the T for text, and I'm going to make the color of my text. Click over there, and I'm going to make it a very light yellow. So if I want to pick from maybe the lightest part of this flower yellow, I can go to my little eyedropper, and I can go choose my lightest yellow. I think over here I have an even lighter yellow right there. And see how over here that's not white, it's a very light yellow. See that? That works better than just white, but it has to be very light. If it's a bit darkish, it won't read well. I'll click away, and there you go. My nav words have changed color. Now, has that worked for everything?
Nope.
What is missing? What is missing?
About.
Yeah, and what is about now? What is about? Is about just nav, or is it something else now?
Link.
The about now is an anchor tag. It's a hyperlink, right? So it wasn't affected by nav because in the whole order of CSS style sheets, the default setting or styling of the word about is taking over above what I just decided was going to work for nav. So I need to change that. If I want it to work for this page that has a black backgrounds are harder because all the default settings for things are assuming that you have a light colored background. So when you have a dark background like I do, the default setting is that typical little blue underlined word. But once you have already visited it, it turns purple. So right now I've got purple. See over here, I've got purple. So it's not changing. So I can either change the color of my background, or I can keep adding selectors to keep editing the kind of stuff that my anchor tags. Okay. So for now, just because I want to first see if my tag is working, I'm going to let it be purple. And notice that when I hover over portfolio and everything, is my mouse is just a cursor, but when I hover over the word about, I'm getting the little click telling me it's a link, so it must be working. So let's go save this first and test the link before we do anything else. I'm going to save all related files, because by now I did change my CSS. I just added a new selector. I added a nav selector that I styled. So I've now saved all. And how do we test to see if this link is working?
Preview.
Preview, yeah. So I'm going to head down at the bottom, click my preview. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to preview in, for some reason, my preview isn't wanting to start. So I'm going to go and do it from file preview. It's getting a bit funky here, and I'm going to open Google Chrome real-time preview. And here's my web page. And my web page is showing me the local news external link, and my about has turned into an internal link, but I need to see if it works. So I'm going to click on about, and yep, it linked to my about page, which is another reason I wanted it to be different so that you could see it linking. If it had been identical, he would never notice that you switched to another page. But yep, it worked. We went to the about page. Did yours go to the about page? Give me a little yes that your link is working, and a little no if your link is not working. All right. So Vivian and Dorothy and Robert, give me a little yes or no if your link is working or not working.
Link is working.
Mira said yes. Chris, oh, that's your other, yeah, so you said yeah. Link is, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was speaking over you. Did you say yes or no?
Link is working, but I didn't follow most of what you said about the nav.
Okay, all I did was I styled the nav so that my text would be visible. because I was working on black font over a very dark background. So I just went and made a nav selector. So for now, don't worry if you didn't follow that. More importantly, I'm trying to focus on the links working. Later, we're going to go keep working on CSS quite a bit. But what I need to make sure is that your link is working. So if the link worked, give me a yes. What else? Mira, is your link working? Oh, there you have your second screen. Okay, so it looks like everyone said yes. Vivian said yes. The only one, Pedro, I know you're not doing things at the same time, but if you're doing anything at home with the videos, you need to be sending me screenshots of your work. Otherwise, I don't know that you're doing anything and I can't give you a pass, okay? So please, Pedro, make sure to be sending me, emailing me screenshots. You did that last class and I know you can do it again. All right, so here's the problem though. I'm stuck in the about page now, but oh, I can't go back to home, okay? Because my about page doesn't have any live links yet. My nav in the about page doesn't have any links heading home. Does that make sense? So I need to fix that so that I can come to the about and then I can click and go back to home. They have to be reciprocal. All right. So I'm going to close this window because I can't have both open. And now what I need to do is I need to go to my about page and I need to make a link in my home, sending me back to the home page. So up here, let's go and open your about page in Dreamweaver now. All right, so now I'm going to create a link to send me to my home page. So this time I'm gonna do it up here just to do it differently. So I'm gonna single click and select my word home. If you double click on your word, it gives you the whole word, but anyway. Click and drag or select it. This time I'm going to insert it this way. So I'm going to click on the link there. And again, if I know, what's the name of the home page file?
Index.
HTML.
Index, thank you. I was hoping that no one came up with home.html. Yes, it's the index.html. So let's write index.html there, or right, inversely, just reminding you that if you don't remember, you just click on that guy and you just click on the word index and say, okay. I kind of like clicking on those things. It takes a little bit more time, but I will bypass any possible mistakes by having wrote an index with uppercase when in reality the file had lowercase, or some other typo. Typos happen. I might type the word about and forget to put a U and put an N. So by clicking on the actual file, you skip over the possibility that your link isn't working because of a typo. But otherwise, you can write index.html. Cool. You can click away.
Drop down, Deanna.
Okay, so first you need to select your word. I'm going to just do it over here in Portfolio. Select your word. And once you select your word, then you'll see this little drop down. If that's not working for you, you can share your screen and I can help you. When you select the word, do you get that drop down appearing?
Just a minute.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to go ahead and save all. If you need to share, go ahead and share, but otherwise, relate to me what's happening so I can have an idea what you're up to on the other side.
I think I'm trying to share now. Do you have it yet?
Oh, you can't share if I'm sharing. You need to tell me that you're sharing. Sorry. Okay, go ahead. And if you're trying to share, go ahead now. Now I've stopped sharing so you can share yours.
Try again. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and select, where are you? You're in the about. Okay, so go ahead and select the word home. Yep, go ahead and select your word home. You got to select the word. Cool. And now that you finished selecting it, there the link appeared. Cool. Now you can write index.html. All right, so now click away or hit return. And that should do it. So go ahead and click away to keep that box out of the way to not mess it up again, and then save that file. And then let's go and head back to our real-time preview. And so yeah, save all. All right, so now let's real-time preview, and you can start with either one of the pages. And when you click on home, it should take you to the home page. And now when you click on about, it should take you to the about page, and woohoo!
Perfect.
Congratulations, it's working. All right, so everyone for whom this is working, go ahead and give me a little, I'm clearing all your answers. Give me a clear all if your files are linking back and forth. I'm gonna do my own real-time preview here.
Mine is, I can go back and forth between home and about, but
Yeah.
I only selected, I forgot to select H in home.
Okay, so you need to go back and you need to fix
So
that.
I don't know if you're doing weird things. I better share in that, you know.
No, it's not hard. I'll show you. Don't share.
Okay.
I'll tell you what to do. And so basically, close your real-time preview and go back to your Dreamweaver, or move it to the side. But I know you're in VDI. That's why I'm saying to close it. And then if the home is missing, you didn't select the whole thing, the easiest thing is to go into the code over here. And what you'll see is that you have this situation. You just have the word ohm, and you should have an H kind of hanging out over here, right? Because it got left out.
Oh, okay, got it.
Get rid of that H and type the H over there, and that takes care of it, okay? So did y'all see what I did? You know, it's very typical that your link doesn't grab everything. You just need to fix the link.
It worked.
And then you save all, and then it works. So I actually need to preview mine because I wasn't sharing yet. So let me really quickly test. And here we go. I go home, and then I go to about. Okay, so they're going back and forth. All right, now the thing is, I don't have yet the portfolio or the contact HTML made, but I don't need it. I needed it here for you to be able to test and see, yeah, it is working. Like you had to visually see it, or you would never believe me. But now that you know this is working, I can create all these links, even if I don't have my portfolio.html and my contact.html yet. I can just set up the links, and then the moment I create those files, maybe today, maybe 3 months in the future when my website is finished, that link will take me to that file, because I know I'm going to call that file portfolio.html and contact.html. Does that make sense? You could preset your links correctly, even if the file doesn't exist, as long as you give it the right name. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to start with the index file, because this about page, it was only for this purpose of testing this link. But in reality, I'm not ready to create those about portfolio and contact sheets yet, because I still haven't decided all of my formatting and everything. So even in the face of not having them, if I go over here, they're not there, I'm still going to create the links for all of them. So I'm going to go select in my index HTML, I'm going to select my portfolio word, make sure to try to get it from the beginning to the end, okay? And so select that portfolio. Oh, I'm the one who left the P out, so select it again. And then I'm going to click a link, and I'm going to write, because there's nothing to select. So I'm going to write portfolio, but remember to be consistent. If you were using upper or lowercase, it's always good to have lowercase files. But I know that some of you guys named your about uppercase, then you have to have it uppercase here. But if we're making these new ones, make sure and make them, sorry, I'm not looking at it, portfolio.html. And so I'm creating that link, and then I'm going to do that again with contact, and I'm going to say contact.html, and there we go. So if I look at my code, oh, I didn't do it to portfolio. I didn't hit my enter. Yeah, so sometimes it's hard to do all at once. Write and teach portfolio.html, hit my enter, and that seals it in. And when I click away, now I have home, portfolio, and contact. But one thing that's missing, I'm gonna wait for you guys to do that first. Go ahead and check that you've done your links. Oops. Oh, that's my reminder, because I keep forgetting that this class finishes at 8:15. I'm kind of trundling towards 8:30 again. That happened to me this morning. I was in a class that supposedly finished at 8:35, and in my brain, it was one of the ones that finishes, sorry, 11:55. So by 11:45, people were like, hello, because I'd gone by then past 10 minutes. So remind me if I'm going over. So we have 5 more minutes. So I want to finish, make all these links be totally ready to go. Next week, we're going to start making these responsive. We're going to make a responsive nav. And we're going to begin to have responsive images and everything. But right now I want to complete our links, because if I look at over here, I have my about, my portfolio, and my contact. But my home page isn't a link yet. Now I made it a link, but I made it a link in the about page, remember? So I can go ahead and make it in here again, or I can go copy the link from about and paste it in here. I think the easiest thing is to do it again. I'm going to reselect home, and I'm going to make this be a link that takes me to, where does this take me again?
Index.html.
Index.html. So basically I'm hitting the return and I click away. So basically I'm having to do it again. All right. But that's just because I had done it in a page that in reality isn't going to exist anymore. Now, these 2 links work. So they go the regular tone of blue and purple, but these go red because basically my computer's telling me something's wrong here. These aren't actually working because I don't have those pages yet. So Dreamweaver's warning me that something's wrong. But it's not really wrong. It's just that I don't have the links to them yet. That's all it is. So it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say File, Save All. And now I'm going to notice that my About is still not updated. If I go to my About, those aren't links yet. And I don't want to keep repeating and repeating, making all of these again. So this is what happens with a nav. Once you have made it and you have all the links connected, so all your pages are connected, you can either select it in the DOM, I think is the easiest thing. So now if you look at my nav, I have 4 links. I have the link that's going to go to home, the link for about, portfolio, or contacts. So those are the 4 anchor tags that have appeared. So that's my entire nav bar. So what I can do is copy this entire nav bar and replace it in the about page. So that's how you keep your nav bar and your things connected. So first of all, to make this a little bit cleaner, see in the source how it's one long line? I like to have my hyperlinks not in one long line. So, and this is just about tidying. It's totally not important to the functioning of the website, but it's for the functioning of my brain, okay? So I'm gonna go in here, and after the nav tag, I'm gonna put a little cursor in there and hit return. And then I'm gonna go after the home closing anchor tag, I'm gonna put my cursor in there, I'm gonna hit return. And then I'm going to do that here again, and I'm going to hit return, and I'm going to do that here, and I'm going to hit return. So my brain functions better, and then over here and hit the return on my nav. So I like to see my source code where I can see my 4 links instead of having one long uninterrupted text of text. So this just makes it cleaner for me, for my brain to work, okay? Because now I can either hit the nav over here and copy that, or it's easy for me to see that nav goes from here to here and encompasses everything. And then it's easy to copy and paste. So once you have this done this way, you can copy. I'm going to copy up here. I'm going to copy it in the nav link in the DOM. You can, I'm going to say copy. You could also go here and select this and say copy to that, whichever way you prefer to copy. and I'm going to go to the about. I'm going to find the nav over here, which only has 2 links. And if I don't know how to find it, then I'll go back in here and I'll click on the nav and the DOM. The DOM is a great way to find stuff. And what I want to do is I want to delete that, and I want to paste mine, a new one. So I'll hit my delete key. Okay, it's gone. And now I'm going to paste. I'm going to right click and paste. My copy. I hate how my copy isn't really working in this video, I think. Click here to confirm. I forgot to do that. Say okay. I'm going to go to the about and I'm going to paste. There you go. So now my nav with all of the links is in both of my existing HTML pages. Okay, so you basically need to override the existing nav, delete it, and paste in your new one, because the nav bar is going to be identical everywhere. Then you're going to do a save all. I'll come and help you catch up, but I want to just go and do my real-time preview to see if it's working. And now I'm going to go basically, all my links are live. I'm going to go to home. I'm going to go to about. They're both reciprocal. Okay. But if I try to go to portfolio, it's just going to go not found, but it's trying to go there. It's just not found because I didn't make it yet, but the link is working or it wouldn't go anywhere. Like if I click on this word, it doesn't go anywhere, but the link is alive. It just needs that file to be created. Okay, so you have set up all your links for your nav and they're reciprocal. And from now on, every time you start with the index and copy this nav bar on all your pages, they will all be identical and they will all be linking correctly to each other. Okay, I am ready to save and take questions, and I can do any of this again if you need help. So give me a yes if everything is working. If your 4 links are working and you did the real preview, you paste it into the about and your about have all their links working. So if everything is fine and up and running, give me a yes. If something is not working and you need a hand or you're just behind and would like some more coaching, I can do it again. Give me a no. But if you said yes and it's working, take a screenshot of your entire page so that I can see it's your work, that it says that it's your website.
Not working.
And email it to me. And then you can sign out. And for those of you who want to hear me support people correcting their stuff, you can stay signed in, but this is officially the end of the class. Take a screenshot, send me the email, and I'll see you next week. And Mira, I can help you now. I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that they were free to go if they needed to, or they're free to stay if they'd rather stay while I help people for whom it's not working. Okay, so Mira, let me stop my share.
Okay.
And go ahead and give me your...
Let me hold on a second.
Good night. Good night, Vivian. Thank you. Getting chats.
Good night.
Good night, Robert. Good night, Tim, Leland. Anyone who's leaving, good night, Dorothy. Good night, Chris. But if you're not leaving
Good night,
yet,
Deanna.
good night, Pedro.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome. Bye, Chris. All right, Mira.
Okay, here. Okay, hold on. Okay. So I'm on about.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's showing me 19 as a red.
Well.
Oh, got it.
It's kind of working, except for I'm looking up at the top, and instead of href, you have href in the home, HTML instead of HTML. So you just have some typos there. So go back and take that A from the HTML, yeah. And then at the beginning, the A, instead of saying href, it says href. So go and fix that. See that? It says HERF instead of HREF. So type in there and fix that. I don't know how that happened, but there we go. So RE. Okay, other than that, it's all looking good. So do a save as. Okay, And now give it a real-time preview. And there you go. Let's try those. Well, portfolio will say can't find it because we don't have it. That's correct. And now go to home. Okay, so your home isn't working. So let's go see what's happening. Oh, look, it's looking for HTML. Hashtag I see up there. So anyway, close your preview and let's go back to, okay, so, oh, because you wrote home.html instead of index.html. Remember the file name is index.html. So, and be careful because you're writing uppercase and your actual file is lowercase. So be careful about that. I would like you to correct that. I would like you to go and rename your about lower or upper, and then that way all your different links are correct. But if you make this lower, it's going to correct it to upper because your actual file, you gave it the upper name. So here you have to correct the file. Right now, you can't just make it a lowercase. You need to give it the uppercase name because it needs to be exactly the same name. Okay. And now the way you pre-wrote the others, that means that the others are going to have to be with uppercase. And I highly suggest that you keep it in all in lowercase. Since the others don't exist, go ahead and correct it right now here and call them lowercase portfolio, lowercase contact, because then when you create them, you can create them correctly to lowercase. So go ahead and insert your mouse in there and correct that. For portfolio and contact, give them a lowercase p and a lowercase c, so that for your future, when you create those two files, you'll do it correctly. So the only thing you need to do at file level now is you need to correct that A for about. Okay, so now, since you made changes here in about, sorry, no, you can't fix that now. Your file now, look over to the right on your file names. Do you see how it has an uppercase? You can't change the link. You need to have it have the name it has. Oh. Now, see what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, you might be able to fix that name. I don't know. Go to the name in the files and see if you can change it at this level. Go and see if you can right click and change that file name. I don't know if you can here. No, not from there. Just from the word about. See if it's changeable in the names. Up in the files.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you can. So, okay. So fix that to a lowercase a. Perfect. Hit return. Say update. And click on. There we go. And now all of this nav is different than the nav in your index HTML now because you've made many corrections. See that? Mm-hmm. So now you need to select this nav and go copy and paste it into the index. So you can go from the, okay, from first top, okay, copy, and go ahead and save. Wait, up there where it says click here to inform the copy of the clipboard, way at the top it appeared, you had to say, okay, do it again. Copy that again because, oops, whoops. Where did you go?
There you go.
Okay. Go ahead and copy a little bit higher. Oh, where are you making? Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, you're in the right place. Okay, say select and copy all that. Copy.
Oh, I see. Because I am on VDI.
Go up to copy and then see that little okay up there that appears? Say okay. Yeah, that's the one that was happening in VDI. Now go over to your index file and select the code that you had done here, which now you can see is the one that had all the mistakes. Select all of them from the beginning to the end of those. And there you go, perfect. And now you can delete that and you can paste in the new stuff. Hit the delete key or just paste and it'll replace, yeah. Now they're correct, cool. Give it a little return so your nav go, perfect. Save all and now go test it. And now go give it a little preview.
Yeah.
Okay, and now see if you can go to about, you're in portfolio, perfect, and home. Portfolio should say not found. Home should take you to home. Cool.
This even works for me.
And weather isn't working, but that's because
no,
they said
it works.
That weather.
I just had to refresh the browser.
Oh, Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I'm whether it worked for you, it didn't work on others. It's good to know. Next time, tell me and I'll tell people it was about refreshing the browser. Since I
Yeah.
didn't use that link, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're all set.
So now I just click
So
this.
now you can just close Dreamweaver. Exactly. Take a screenshot, although I've seen it, so I know your work.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So that's that little clipboard window that we need to keep checking. And now disconnect from your Google Drive file stream. Go to the little gear, preferences, and disconnect account. Cool. And then now you're set.
Okay.
You can close your VMware, and next time you come in, you reconnect.
Thank you so much.
Very cool. You're welcome. All right. Is anyone else here? Dorothy, you have any questions, or you were just hanging out to learn more?
I was fixing my mistakes.
Okay, cool.
I'm
Do you
good,
need-
except that footer. You mentioned the footer was hanging.
Yeah, no, it's hanging for all of us. The way I had us design it, it's hanging for all of us. So we need to fix that. Yeah, it's not your footer that's wrong. It's everyone's footer. I didn't have us make a footer that's fixed, but that's all. We'll fix that.
So everything works on mine. Then I did all the
Cool. Awesome.
hrefs.
Perfect. Then we're done. We're ready to go and have an evening or a night by now.
I have
Yeah.
three anchors. Is that right? Because home is not really an anchor.
No, you should make home an anchor. Otherwise, how do you return to home from the about page, for example? So you need to make home an anchor as well and make sure that both pages have it.
About page.
I went ahead and did them all in the index page, and then I pasted them all into the about page.
Oh, well, when I go into the about page, there are 4, but when I'm on the index page, there's only 3.
Well, then select the ones from the about where you did it correctly and paste them into your index. Wherever you have all 4, copy them and paste them into the one that they're not.
Oh, okay. You mean like on the index?
Yes, so maybe you made your 4 in the about page. So select them all. They're going to be identical anyway. Select them all, copy, go to your index, delete the ones that are there and paste these in. And now both pages will have all 4.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Does that make sense? All right. Cool. So send me a little screenshot at the end of your index to see if it worked, and then I'll know that you're on the right path. Otherwise, I can help you at the beginning of next week. All right. Take care then.
Okay,
Bye, Dorothy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Morning.
Oh, that's true. Tomorrow morning for you. Okay, see you tomorrow morning. Bye.